this is an amazing story to me because it's a tipping point discussion in my mind. Recent reports estimate the 70% of Metro bus riders are not paying their fares, making this one of the worst transit systems in the nation for fare evasion. Metro is losing millions of dollars annually, while some drivers say they don't feel safe confronting non-paying passengers. At the same time, many policymakers and environmental advocates want more people to choose public transportation over their cars. But if riders don't feel the system is safe, fair, or well managed, are we moving toward that goal or away from it? Mark, apparently more uniformed and plainclothes police officers are being asked to enforce payment, which means they're being taken off the streets and away from more serious crimes to tackle this. So, is this the right approach, or do you see any other solutions to the problem?
Well, I think there's again a broader issue, which is that going back about 15, 16 years in the metro system, fare box revenues provided about 60% of the operating revenue necessary to run the system. That's dropped in half to under 30%. That's a reflection of a drop in ridership and also the fare box avoidance of passengers. This has been a trend that's been going on. What it also reflects is the drop in ridership that's taken place as people use Uber and Lyft as an alternative, which is more time sensitive when they need to get to an appointment, and use buses and metro maybe when they have a little bit more flexibility. I think it underscores a real need to rethink public transportation and to look at it uh, appreciating the broad mix of the way people get around.
Good point. Cary, 10 years ago, if you boarded a Metro bus without paying, the driver wasn't going anywhere until the issue was resolved. Today, the expectations seem to be the opposite. What changed? I mean, how did we get here? And what do you believe should be done about it?
Well, I mean, fact of the matter is, you got to start with basics. Less than 5% of your uh, people who use transportation are riders of buses. Um, and of that, our collection box is getting around $40 million a year. Buses have always been subsidized. So, how much do you throw at these kind of services? How much more do we need to subsidize it? Um, our ride on is free now, okay, in the hopes that we're going to increase bus ridership. And I don't know that it isn't. It may be time to make Metro free, because the bottom line is 5% is just not cutting the mustard, with respect to transit use. And if making it free encourages people to get off the road, then you're saving money in transportation maintenance and on other things. But on the other side of the coin, for every dollar we lose in the bus system, we're losing money that could potentially maintain the buses, improve the buses, and create new routes. It's
Carrie, we've been sold for 50 years this argument that public transportation, subsidizing public transportation is somehow going to make traffic easier to get around for cars, that somehow you're going to divert people to public transportation. And the numbers just don't support that. It's just that it's just a false argument about public transportation. Frankly, more people gone off the road because they're working from home as opposed to any other kind of means. Yes, there are people who don't have cars, or it makes sense to go in public transportation because they have a job in a centralized workspace. For most people, jobs are not where public transportation goes in a time sensitive manner, where they can get there in a timely manner. This is why we really need to think the way public transportation works, because the model that was developed 50 years ago when Metro went in no longer exists.
Yeah, those are very good points, Mark. And I think that with what you said, Carrie, about the ride-on buses being free, if we go in that direction of it being free all the time for everybody, then what's next? I think, we have to look at this sort of in the scope too of what's happening in New York, and they want to do, the free transportation, and they're looking at housing and creating more housing.